Spoke about Los Angeles earlier this week. I forget exactly what day it was, but you guys can probably just look back. It's not that long ago. Anyways, yeah, and then we talked about some random crime that was happening, the random robberies, and leaving Union Pacific rail yards looking like a fucking bomb got dropped in New Delhi, and nurses getting knocked out and killed, and now we have a random stabbing, okay? Like, we didn't find the motivation of the homeless man, Kelly something or other, girl's name. Probably laughed at his name. But we didn't find the motivation in that one. And then we have a violent stabbing death of a woman, a young UCLA student, just stabbed to death while she's working. Brianna Kupfer. Her killer is arrested at Pasadena bus stop 15 miles away from LA furniture store, where he randomly stabbed the UCLA student to death. 31-year-old was out on $50,000 bond for firing a weapon into a car. And unfortunately, it's not the first crime he's ever committed. I know, we're starting to see a pattern here. Bail reform really works now, doesn't it? Pasadena police have arrested the man suspected of stabbing a UCLA student to death at an LA furniture store she was working at last week. Shawn Laval Smith, 31, was arrested in California City a day after Los Angeles Police Department named him as a top suspect in the random, unprovoked slaying of Brianna Kupfer. He has not yet been booked by LAPD. Great. Pasadena police confirmed that Smith was nabbed at a bus stop in Pasadena. He was arrested without incident after a bus stop because he's very familiar with the police department. Once we'll figure out here very, very shortly. So he's like, yeah, I did it. So I guess we're just going to go ahead. Better than being homeless. Let's just go get some 3 squares and a cot. He was arrested without incident, yes, at a bus stop near Fair Oaks and Colorado Boulevard about 10 to 12. Pasadena Lieutenant Sean Dawkins told the Daily Mail. No, it's not clear if he was armed, but he went peacefully, so that's fine. Cops nabbed him after receiving a tip from a member of the public who recognized him from the news coverage and called the police. Brianna was stabbed to death January 13th while working alone at the Croft House Store in La Brea. Just minutes after she texted a friend that a man in the store was giving her a bad vibe. Looks like she was a fairly astute young woman. That's unfortunate. Smith is a career criminal with a long rap sheet. What? No. Spanning both coasts. What? He doesn't keep his felonies localized? Come on. I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. It's not like we haven't seen that with, I don't know, a guy who likes to drive an SUV through a parade. Somebody who fell asleep drunk in a Wendy's drive-thru and then ended up, firing a taser at the cops. Another guy who tried to pass a counter 25th. It's one of those things that we see constantly, in fact. Anyways, Smith is a career criminal with a long rap sheet spanning both coasts and is currently free on a $1,000 bond for a misdemeanor arrest in Los Angeles County in October of 2020. Sheriff records show. Thank you, George Gascon. George Gascon? Eric Gascon? One of those. Daily Mail learns Smith was arrested in Covina, California on December 27th, 2020 and charged for allegedly stealing items at a local Home Depot. Well, he's homeless, allegedly, so he's just trying to build a home for himself. Bigots. He was cited and released by the police. He's like, just don't do it again for the 30th time. The spokesperson for Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon, who took office in December 2020. Oh, okay, so this was before his time. Things have changed since George has been around. With a vow to stop prosecuting many misdemeanors. Oh wait, he wouldn't have done that anyways? I know. That's why we talked about Los Angeles earlier in the week. It's just funny how this shit continues to happen. And did not respond immediately to inquiry from Daily Mail on Tuesday night. George Hadami, a veteran Los Angeles County prosecutor who has been an outspoken critic of Gascon and even sued him for retaliation last year, hit out at his boss in the wake of Kupfer's, maybe he stabbed her because she has such an infuriating last name, arguing that his progressive policies are failing the community and he deserves to be voted out along with other woke DAs in cities with rising crime rates. I agree. I just hate when people unironically use the term woke. It makes me sick to my stomach. No parent should ever have to bury their child. Thanks, very original statement you have there, Hadami. Tweeted on Tuesday, but if you lose a child to violence, you must have a DA who is willing to stand up and fight for victims and prosecute these cases to the fullest extent of the law. Every victim deserves a voice, and we all deserve justice. Smith is currently free. Yeah, free on $50,000 bond in Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, so what is the crime that he committed there? In relation to a November 2019 arrest on suspicion of firing a weapon into an occupied vehicle. That's only $50,000 when you have a rap sheet as long as he does in South Carolina, sorry. Weird. The indictment in the case was handed down on March 16th, 2020, just before the coup made landfall. I think that's the day that all the restrictions started to get handed down. D-Day, as it were. And the docket shows no further action on the case. Yeah, because he bounced and went to Los Angeles, can't you tell? Where he'd go on and try to loot Home Depots and be a good boy who didn't do nothing. Smith's prior charges on the East Coast include assault with a deadly weapon. And this is all in South Carolina, by the way. I missed a little bit, just a little bit of a preface here. Smith's prior charges on the East Coast include assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon, probably without a permit, obviously, assault on a police officer, trespassing, possession of a stolen vehicle, and misdemeanors for larceny and possession of stolen goods. Oh, he would never do that again, now would he? The outcome of those cases weren't immediately clear. What was clear was his fondness for knives. He has a history of failing to appear in court. No. And has been repeatedly arrested on bench warrants. Yeah, but you could. I learned from Professor Seth Stoughton in the Kim Potter case that it doesn't matter if there's a bench warrant out there. You can get the guy later at your earliest convenience, or a person whose name is on the warrant's convenience. It's just weird how that ended up directly leading to one of the cutest girls I've seen in a long time getting stabbed to death. Like, another shout out to some previous content this week, and something that did unexpectedly well on the channel. It was just going to be me shitting on a fucking OnlyFans thought, but looks like a lot of people like it. If you want to know what kind of chicks I'm attracted to, that right there. Very cute. Very dead. Sucks a lot. But if it's any consolation, I guess she was going to UCLA, so she's probably woke and whatever. But again, found an uglier target. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was convicted in absentia after skipping courts and does not appear to have served the sentence, which was sealed in court records. So, what has he done before? Well, you know. That motherfucker's younger than me. Oh my god. But he's accomplished so much in his life. But I'm bigger than him. So let's take a look at his multiple mugshots. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then a murder makes 11. In 2016, the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department issued a public appeal for information about Smith, saying he was wanted on 2014 active warrant for his arrest for bicycle theft he had committed in the Charlotte area. More recently, in California, Smith has charges in San Francisco and San Mateo. Oh man, I thought he was just he just did that one thing, the Home Depot with $1,000. He wouldn't do it again. It was like, I can post bond, just give me a minute, I gotta go pawn some shit. And they're like, okay, just be right back, okay? I know we got your name and stuff. We'll come find you. Don't you try to play hide and seek with us. We're pretty good at this. Don't be putting no knives and don't be hiding anything in some fucking cute white women that are out there. You better not do that. Most recent arrest appears to be for shoplifting. No, a source said. Smith has been recently seen in Pasadena, Santa Monica, passed out on a bench, West Hollywood, Covina, San Diego, and San Francisco, the police said. He is highly likely to be using public transportation. Special attention should be given to bus stops and train platforms where he was found. Earlier, at a Tuesday press conference, LAPD John Radke revealed that minutes before she was killed, Brianna had texted that a friend saying that she was given a bad vibe by somebody stalking the store, I guess. Her shocking attack appears to be random, with no known connection between the victim and her murderer, and no clear motive for the slaying. Despite his neat and well-kept appearance, in that picture, I guess, cops say he strongly suspects the suspect of being homeless, based on his travel on foot, as well as information they decline to reveal. I just want to know if he gets charged, all things considered, because it is LA after all, okay? Let's see if we can kind of glean anything from some of the early information that's out there. Killer spent about 4 minutes in the Croft House furniture store where Brianna was working, during which time he stabbed Brianna with a knife before he calmly walked out the back door of the store. What? Brianna, an architectural design student from Pacific Palisades, was discovered lying in a pool of her own blood 20 minutes after the attack by a horrified customer who was heard screaming, "Oh my God." Seemed like a reasonable response. Kupfer died at the scene before help could arrive. Kupfer's father has revealed that his daughter was not supposed to be working on the day she was stabbed inside a high-end furniture store, and he had laid some blame for her death on politicians and their skewed priorities. All right. Based father. Kupfer, he is not said he is not blaming any politicians by name. Ask on. But he argued that their job is to make communities better, to make people care more, and to not tear down communities by exposing them to people that are falling out of the bottom, that really don't care about other human beings and just think that they can do whatever they like in our society. Brianna's father confirmed to Fox and Friends host Steve Ducey that his daughter was not supposed to be at work that day. Wasn't even supposed to be here. You can question everything. You can spend your nights with all the what ifs, but if it doesn't change anything, Todd Kupfer said. Brianna is still a dedicated person. She was at work that day. He added, I don't know why she was there alone, but she was. I don't think anybody would have anticipated that this could possibly happen there. I don't think anybody is to blame other than the assailant, the awful person that did this to my daughter. Todd Kupfer said he wants his daughter to be remembered as a person, a human being, and a caring, loving, and devoted family member, and a great friend, and just a rising star. Fuck. But yeah, man, we were over all of the different serious crime, violent crime spikes that are in LA earlier this week, so I need not retread over this, but fuck, this sucks. Like, really, really does suck. So hopefully the book gets thrown at this guy, but it is Los Angeles, so it really is just a roll of the dice. Sucks to sucks. So just leave fucking cities, I guess. God damn it. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Watch your follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.